And you are ready.
No, it's not like that during the meeting, though.
But hey, this is his mood.
And we got Drew Phillips starting on the mound. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep.
I love that huddle.
Well, no, I knew it's him, but I was saying it's Georgia home. Who, do you do the copies for this? Who's doing the copies for it?
Me.
Is it okay if you, I'll do it next time, but flip them, yeah. I always get confused with it. Because the visiting team is.
Fold it in half.
Fold it in half and just flip it. Then you don't have to worry about it, and you won't be confused.
Dang, put that.
Well, but sometimes batting first.
No, they are. Georgia.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to semifinal Tuesday at the 2013 Tournament of State Champions here live from Elm Street Park in Greenville, North Carolina. Got what should be two great ball games on tap today, the first of which is the game you all are tuning in for between the Georgia State champion Martinez Evans Little League out of Evans, Georgia, and what will be the home team today, the South Carolina State champion out of Greenwood, South Carolina. As we speak, the South Carolina team is in their huddle, getting themselves pumped up to take the field. Again, South Carolina will be the home team today on the coin flip, and Georgia will be the visitors. We've completed the national anthem. The coaches have met at home plate, and we're getting set for the first semifinal, again, of the 11-year-old Tournament of State Champions live here in Greenville, North Carolina. We'll be back in a moment with the starting lineups. Back in a moment.
After this commercial.
You're training.
We need clarification on that.
Welcome back, folks, as we get set here for the first pitch this morning. Again, first semifinal of the day between Georgia, who will be the visiting team today, and South Carolina, who will be the home team today. Melton is
They're both 5 for 10, Craig.
That's not what they gave us.
That's not what they gave us. So what they need to make,
They need to
call it in.
And, folks, we'll have the starting lineup for you in just a moment. Logan Bruce is on the mound for South Carolina. That's not what we had originally turned in on the starting lineup, so we'll get clarification on that. We had that Drew Phillips will be the starting pitcher today, but number 10, Logan Bruce, is actually on the hill.
Yes, sir.
And we're getting clarification on that right now. Starting catcher is Eli White.
Pardon? Well, the lineup that was turned in showed Drew Phillips, number 11, being the starting pitcher. That's not who's on the mound. Your lineup showed Drew Phillips as the starting pitcher. Okay, all right, okay. All right, Logan Phillips. Logan Bruce is the starting pitcher.
Okay, so that is confirmed. Logan Bruce will be the starting pitcher today for South Carolina, not Drew Phillips.
Where is Drew? Second base?
Drew Phillips will be at second base.
Second base.
Did you please starting pitcher for South Carolina's number 10, Logan Bruce, behind plate number 22, Eli White.
And again, we'll get you the starting lineups here after this first batter for both teams. Leading off for Georgia here in the top of the first will be Joshua Melton, the shortstop for Georgia. And, folks, we're about ready to get underway here. Again, first semifinal of the day, and the first pitch is delivered high for ball one. Georgia, South Carolina to start us off here this morning will be followed by West Virginia, Florida in Game 2. Obviously, the two winners will advance to the championship game tomorrow at 11 a.m., scheduled for 11 a.m., as Melton swings through strike one. I'd like to congratulate both of these teams, along with both of these states and their fan bases, on advancing here today to the semifinals. As pitch is taken outside. Big accomplishment. Of course, we started with 8 state champions here. They played it off for 3 days in pool play. And the 2-1 pitch. Melton swings, fly ball hit into left field. Left field camps underneath it. And the catch is made by Lennox Adams in left field for out number 1. Quickly, the defensive alignment for the South Carolina State champions out of Greenwood, South Carolina. Again, your battery is Logan Bruce on the mound, Eli White behind the plate, Luke Poole at first, Drew Phillips at second, Wells Gunter at short, Braden Ridge at third, Lennox Adams in left, Andrew Gossett in center, and Braden McCary in right. That's your defensive alignment for Greenwood, South Carolina, here to begin the game. And it's taken outside for ball 1 to the number 2 hitter, Trevor Cragen. And Cragen stands in from the left side, the tall left-handed hitter. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Cragen with a big tournament so far, 5 for 10 so far on the tournament, the leading hitter for the Georgia State champions. Home run included in that, hit the first home run of the tournament. As Cragen fouls that off and quickly is in a 1-2 hole. Starting offensive lineup for Georgia, Joshua Melton leading off, Trevor Cragen batting second, Grant Fuller batting third, John D'Amelio hitting in the cleanup spot, Blake Tucker batting fifth, Connor Bones sixth, Preston Price, Brian Peel, and Cameron Dunbar batting ninth. That's the offensive lineup for Martinez Evans Little League out of Evans, Georgia, your Georgia State champion. Again, as we mentioned before, started with 8 teams. Today begins a single elimination portion, as this is semifinal game number 1. Georgia coming into this tournament, coming into the semifinal portion as the 2 seed after pool play. South Carolina as the 3 seed. Florida finished overall as the number 1 seed. They were undefeated in the tournament along with Georgia, both going 3-0 in pool play. That's fouled back. And West Virginia finished as the 4 seed. So again, Florida finished 1, Georgia 2, South Carolina 3, West Virginia 4 in pool play. But, of course, all that's out the window today as it's down to 1 game for each of these teams to continue to advance. So the count's now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Trevor Cragen, who will be on the mound today for Georgia. He will be your starting pitcher. And 3-2 pitch is taken high for ball 4. So Cragen will trot down to first base runner of the game. And he'll be on with 1 out in the inning. And we're going to see our good buddy Antoine Rowling come in to pinch run. Undoubtedly has led this tournament in special pinch run appearances.
Rolling to run. Got it.
Your attention, please. Now in the game is a special pinch runner for Georgia. Number 24, Antoine Rolling. Number 99, Trevor Cragen.
So Antoine Wheels Rolling comes in, replacing Trevor Cragen at first base as a special pinch runner. And that's going to bring to the plate today's third baseman and 3-hole hitter for Georgia, Grant Fuller. So Fuller stands in, runner on first, 1 down here, top of the first inning, no score. Again, Logan Bruce begins the game on the mound for South Carolina. And that ball's ripped into center field for a sharp single. And that ball had smoke on it as it came off the bat, folks. Sharp single in center field, and Georgia's got something brewing here in the top of the first. So sharp single to center by Fuller is going to bring John D'Amelio to the plate. D'Amelio, who's caught for the majority of this tournament, behind the plate again today for Georgia. Been impressive behind the plate. So Antoine Rolling at second. Grant Fuller at first. 2 on, 1 down here in the top of the first inning. As that's taken for a ball outside. Again, your starting battery for South Carolina. Logan Bruce on the mound. Eli White behind the plate. And we've got our first mound visit of the day. from South Carolina manager Jeff Phillips.
Top throw, you got 60. Seems to throw that swing. Get out of there. Throw it out.
He's probably never been in this situation. That's probably his team. He's younger.
Jeff Phillips has certainly shown a propensity toward not being afraid to go out and talk with his fielders during this tournament so far, keeping them together, keeping them on the same page, encouraging the guys to do what they're supposed to do. Logan Bruce delivers the off-speed pitch, fouled back by D'Amelio.
Return that foul ball, taking touchdown for a free small drink. Our blue pup.
In the coaching staff for South Carolina, manager Jeff Phillips, coaches Jeffrey Poole and Derek White. Done a great job with this group. As that's taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the same for Georgia, manager Robert Peel, coach Joe D'Amelio, and coach Woody Melton, as they've led their team, the Georgia State champion, to a perfect record so far here at Elm Street Park in Greenville, North Carolina. 1-2 the count. And that ball gets past the catcher and gets away. We're going to have a throw down to third. And closer than it could have been. And the Georgia manager, Robert Peel, not happy with either base runner for both going and standing up, letting them hear about it. Closer than it should have been at third. Nice play by Eli White to field that off the backstop as it got by him and fired at third base. And that ball's hit into right field. Right fielder coming on, not going to be able to make the catch. Gets it in quickly, but not before Antoine Rowling comes home to score. So the RBI single by John D'Amelio placed the first run of the game. And Georgia's quickly ahead 1-0.
Now batting number 22, Blake Tucker.
So great piece of hitting there by D'Amelio. Sharp single into right field. And Georgia leads 1-0 here. So runners on first and third. D'Amelio on first.
It was not on here. We just have to get it on. We have to click on the thing and get it there. I just don't know where the writing is.
Get the scoreboard updated for you in a moment as D'Amelio's thrown out trying to steal second. Again, D'Amelio broke for second. Throw down by Eli White right on time and guns him out at second base. As the runner at third base did not advance. Robert Peel not sure he agrees with that call. Going to go out and have a discussion with the umpire to see what he saw. And now looks satisfied with the explanation. So 2 down here in the top of the first inning. Georgia with 1 run across on the John D'Amelio RBI single. Grant Fuller stands on third, and Blake Tucker is at the plate. So Tucker stands in with an 0-1 count. Logan Bruce looks in for the sign and delivers the pitch. Gets away. Fuller's going to come home. We're going to have a play at the plate, and he slides in safely just ahead of the tag. So Fuller slides in safely for the second run of the inning, second run of the game for South Carolina. For Georgia, excuse me. And now South Carolina manager Jeff Phillips is going to come and have what looks like a discussion with the third base umpire. Perhaps trying to see if he thinks the runner left early. And manager Jeff Phillips quickly exits the field after getting the explanation. Suspect that was about whether he thought the runner left early. Of course, in the Little League, if the runner does leave early, the umpire, without a request from the manager, will make him return to the bag. So 1-1 the count. And Tucker swings through the off-speed pitch. Georgia plating 2 here in the top of the first. And Georgia leading 2-0 early in the game. And Logan Bruce fires that down the middle for strike 3. Throw's going to have to be made to first, and it is. And Tucker is down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before Georgia strikes for 2 in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. South Carolina trailing 2-0 coming to the plate. Boy, Georgia's man is fired up this morning. It's about the 4th time. I have to call Eric and tell him to come watch this guy.
Plate umpires books white.
And Eric's arm look tame.
First base is Dan Greer from Spring Hill, Florida. The second base umpire is AJ Van Ness from Spring Hill, Florida. And umpiring at third base from Spring Hill, Florida is Randy Blue.
So, is it a cherry blow pop? Can you get that in? Cherry blow pop?
I don't even think we had cherry blue.
Grape? Grape. Kumquat? Persimmon? Watermelon? How about one Swizzle stick? North Carolina green blow pop? North Carolina green blow pop?
North
A red
Springs.
Swizzle stick. Stallings Stadium blow pop?
Yeah, North Springs for Coral Springs.
Yeah. The north part of the story. Used blow pop? My YouTube, my YouTube should become bitches. Or bitches change, or I get caught up over here, and have it to do minor changes, just last week, I don't need you to walk in to stay out. Okay, just get a position at B or C or begin, or you can have
Wells Gunner is 1 for 2, and Andrew Gossett is 4 for 8. The starting pitcher for Georgia, number 99, Trevor Craig, is by the plate. Number 15, John D'Amelio. Leading off the bottom of the first for South Carolina, number 10, Logan Bruce.
I don't think everybody else, just you know, decide.
So welcome back, folks. Here's we head to the bottom of the first. Logan Bruce will be leading things off for South Carolina. And swings and misses at the curveball for strike 1. All right, hold on a second. You done with this? Again, Logan Bruce steps into the plate. And Logan Bruce with a ground ball to the third baseman. Fields fires across. Cameron Dunbar able to make the play. And 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. I don't know who. So Bruce was hitting 500.
Now batting number 8, Wells Gunter.
That'll bring Wells Gunter to the plate. Gunner first pitch swinging foul ball. Gunner starting to shortstop today. Comes into today after 3 games batting .500 so far in the Tournament of State Champions. Gunner playing with a little bit of a heavy heart today. It was passed along to me before the game that his grandmother had passed away last evening. And Gunner definitely playing with a little bit of a heavy heart today as he smokes that ball to left field. Actually, on his eye black today is wearing BB on his eye black under both eyes in honor of his grandmother, who he was very close to, who passed away. So definitely we're asked to keep him in our thoughts as he played this game today with a little bit of a heavy heart. He's quickly in a hole 0-2. And Cragen delivers the 0-2 pitch, swung on a missed high for strike 3. So Gunter down on strikes. Again, your battery for Georgia, Trevor Cragen, is on the mound as a starting pitcher today. John D'Amelio is the catcher. We'll give you the rest of the defensive alignment in just a moment. Again, just to finish the thought on Gunter, saw him before the game, and on his eye black underneath both eyes is wearing BB, which was his nickname for his grandmother. So definitely was asked to pass that along to the South Carolina faithful to keep him in your thoughts and that family in your thoughts. 1-0 the count to the 3-hole hitter. Drew Phillips, who grounds the ball to short. Melton fires across, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Georgia and pitcher Trevor Cragen in the bottom of the first. So South Carolina's Bruce, Gunter, and Phillips retired in order. Georgia with a quick 1-2-3 inning on 7 pitches. We head to the top of the second inning with Georgia leading 2-0 and coming to bat.
Number 11, coming in now.
Yep.
Yeah. That means Logan is exception, no days rest.
Rob the golf.
Thank you.
So he got off work duty every day to go practice with the CO.
What do we got?
That's about the only thing I know he did.
The way it was on the line.
All right, you get the threshold reception on Bruce. Thank you.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for South Carolina, number 11, Drew Phillips.
Yes.
We got Connor Boone to the plate, right? It's weird now. Everything gets. Leading off the top second for Georgia, number 5, Connor Boone.
Very good. Oh, no, he moved. Now he's expected.
Welcome back here, folks, as we head to the top of the second inning. Again, Georgia, the visiting team, leading 2-0, and Connor Boone will lead off the top of the second for Georgia. New pitcher in the game is Drew Phillips. So Phillips in on the mound now. Catcher remains Eli White. Logan Bruce moves to shortstop for South Carolina. And Phillips quickly falls behind 2-0 on the mound as Connor Bone's at the plate, and Connor Bone is ahead 2-0 in the count. Bone, the second baseman for Georgia. And 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch is delivered for a strike. The 3-1 pitch is swung through. Off pitch popped up in the infield. Shortstop and second baseman both call it. Shortstop Logan Bruce makes the play, and one down here in the top of the second.
Now batting at 33, Preston Price. And that'll bring Preston Price to the plate, number 33. Price takes a curveball for strike one. The Preston Price at the plate, nobody on. One out here. Georgia leading 2-0 in the top of the second inning. And Drew Phillips looks in. Price calls timeout.
Yep. Yep. I asked the guy and he told me to do that. I guess his kid.
What are your 4 choices?
A, 2011, B 2010, C 2012, or D 2009.
And the 1-1 pitch is taken high.
Huh?
So 2-1 the count.
West Side Little League of Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
do night. The first year we were here.
2-1 pitch just misses. So 3-1 now the count to Preston Price. Again, one down here in the top of the second, no one on. And 3-1 pitch taken for a strike.
Yeah, hey, it's that in 2013 too.
5 winners, DC.
And the payoff pitch. Swung on a miss by Price. Off-speed pitch.
Now batting number 2, Brian Peel.
So Logan Bruce, who started the game on the mound, has now moved to shortstop. Bruce threw 22 pitches, but did start the batter with less than 20. So Bruce out on officially being credited with 20 pitches, meaning he will be eligible to pitch again tomorrow should South Carolina advance. Again, Drew Phillips in on the mound now. And Phillips delivers the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Bruce Fields fires over to first for the out. So Georgia retired in order. 1, 2, 3 as Connor Bone, Preston Price, and Brian Peel go down in order. Again, that was Peel at the plate that grounded out to the shortstop, Logan Bruce. And after 1.5, Georgia leads 2-0.
Like better when we had those when you
Yeah, I'm for sure.
it was real good.
You didn't tell me about it?
Yeah, they didn't tell
I was
you.
asleep. I looked around to share it with you, but you weren't around.
Yeah.
Did I, Ken?
So we head to the bottom of the second. South Carolina will be singing
Second for South Carolina.
Andrew Gossett,
Okay, thank you.
Andrew Gossett.
Lennox Adams, and Braden McCary to the plate here in the bottom of the second inning. Again, South Carolina retired 1, 2, 3 to start the inning in the first, start the game in the first inning. So here in the bottom of the second, again, Andrew Gossett will be leading off, the center fielder. Trevor Cragen remains on the mound for Georgia. We'll set the Georgia defensive lineup for you after the first pitch as Cragen gets set to deliver now. And taken for a strike. Again, Cragen on the mound. D'Amelio behind the plate's the starting battery. Cameron Dunbar at first. Connor Bone at second. Joshua Milton at short. Grant Fuller at third. As that's taken for a ball 1-1. Blake Tucker in left field. Brian Peel in center field. And Preston Price in right. Your starting defensive alignment for the Georgia State champions. And Cragen delivers. Off-speed pitch swung on and missed by Gossett for strike 2, quickly in a 1-2 hole. And the 1-2 pitch, high inside fastball swung on and missed by Gossett. So Gossett down on strikes. Cragen records a strikeout.
Now batting number 12, Lennox Adams.
And that'll bring Kleenex Adams to the plate. Adams with a towering home run already in this tournament. And takes the ball outside. Again, the Georgia State champion, Martinez Evans Little League out of Evans, Georgia. And the South Carolina State champion, Greenwood Abbeville Little League out of Greenwood, South Carolina. So that's fouled off late down the right field line. Again, both of these teams earned the right to be here at the Tournament of State Champions by getting through their district and state tournaments as a lone survivor in their respective states, and have now advanced to the single elimination portion after 3 days of pool play here at Elm Street Park in Greenville, North Carolina. So 2-1 the count on Lennox Adams. Nobody on, one down here in the bottom of the second. South Carolina trailing 2-0.
Okay. Your attention, please. Can you move out of the batter's eyes view in center field? Get out of the yellow chains. Thank you.
Yeah, great at this announcing.
Well, I didn't want to say him specific.
2-2 the count on Adams. And a 2-2 pitch.
But I was thinking the kids probably didn't.
Nice curveball by Cragen for strike 3.
You know what I'm saying? I said
So Trevor Cragen with the big pitch there.
before I said anything. Now batting number 15, Braden McCary.
And that'll bring to the plate Braden McCary, the right fielder. I keep wanting to put an R in that last name and call him McCrary, but it is Braden McCary. And McCary swings and miss.
Scott, what are you doing?
So 1-1 the count to McCary. Trevor Cragen now at 18 pitches through 1 2/3 innings.
Middle of third, right?
And that ball's fouled off late. We'll see if Cragen exceeds the 20-pitch limit, and they're going to ride him or going to pull him, as he's now at 19. So he'll have an opportunity to at least finish this batter. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. So McCary down on strikes. So far, 6 up, 6 down for South Carolina as Trevor Cragen's been dominant on the mound early in the game here through 2 innings. So after 2 complete, as the Martinez Little League coach Woody Milton gets the fans fired up from Georgia in the stands, we'll take a brief timeout with Georgia leading 2-0.
Trying to shirt a nice touch today.
What's that?
Shirt's a nice touch.
Yeah, I figured I'd throw a little motivation to them.
It's very odd seeing you and Eric talking to Carolina.
More importantly, this is the only time I get to wear something like this. I mean, I can't wear this out to a buddy's house, you know?
I thought Eric probably broke out in the rash last year and he had to put that shirt on.
He just hated being told what to wear. Yeah. Well, see, I can justify because it's Rose's colors too. So this is one of my Rose shirts. No, give Scotty something to laugh at though. You wouldn't.
Then if I got joined, then if I wasn't in our next level, I'd get banned or something.
No. Now this is the pace of play we like.
It always, hopefully it doesn't slow down.
Leading off the top of the third inning for Georgia.
Lead off the top third for Georgia, number 44, Cameron Dunbar.
Number 44, Cameron.
That'd be so awesome.
Welcome back as we head to the top of the third inning here in semifinal game 1 of the 2013 Tournament of State Champions here in Greenville, North Carolina. Cameron Dunbar will lead things off, the starting first baseman for Georgia. And the first pitch is off-speed pitch taken for strike 1. Dunbar easily the largest player on either of these two teams today. Big fella. Looking at the starting lineups as they were doing the national anthem, standing a full head above a lot of players on the field. And he stands in as the 9-hole hitter for Georgia. Quickly ahead 2-1 in the count. Drew Phillips remains on the mound. Dunbar with a home run yesterday. South Carolina appears well aware of that as they continue to work away from Dunbar, and he's ahead 3-1 in the count. Georgia manager Robert Peel imploring him not to reach for anything. Stay back. As Dunbar fouls it off, and the count now full 3-2. Again, we're in the top of the third. Nobody on, nobody out here in the top of the third. Georgia at the plate. And the 3-2 pitch swung through by Dunbar. He'll have to be tagged out on the drop, third strike. So Dunbar strikes out, and we've got one down here in the top of the third. And that'll bring the top of the lineup and Joshua Melton back to the plate. And Melton fouls that off a little late down the right side.
Please return that foul ball to the concession stand for a free small drink. Hard blue pop.
South Carolina today in the white pants, black tops, with the sort of highlighter green and yellow writing. Georgia in the all-white uniforms with the blue and red trim and the traditional Georgia logoed hat, red hat. Very similar to the Georgia Bulldogs, almost identical to it exactly. And the 0-2 pitch to Melton. Takes inside for ball one. So Phillips has now crossed over the 20-pitch barrier. We'll see after the conclusion of this batter if the trend continues of pulling guys at 20 or if they're going to ride him out. And that's swung on, fly ball into right center. Right fielder camping underneath of it. And the catch is made by Braden McCary. It's a nice play by McCary.
The next batter is number 99, Trevor Cragen.
And that'll bring Trevor Cragen to the plate. So it looks like Phillips will stay on the mound. So one would have to think they're going to ride him now that he's past 20. And with tomorrow being the championship game, that if he's not being pulled now, they're going to ride him as far as he can go today and get everything they can out of him. Again, the dangerous Trevor Cragen at the plate. Cragen walked his first time up. Again, 5 for 10, batting .500 coming into today with a home run included, the first home run of the tournament. As Phillips delivers an off-speed pitch that just stays low for ball two. Cragen, a tall lefty that bats from the left side. And a 2-0 delivery. Off-speed pitch remains outside. So walked the first time up, and South Carolina coaching staff clearly being careful with Cragen. As he walks for the second straight time. So Cragen on at first. That'll bring Grant Fuller to the plate. Fuller singled his first time up earlier in the day.
Now batting number 11, Grant Fuller.
So top of the third inning. Georgia with Cragen on first, with drawing the 2-out walk. Fuller at the plate. Again, Phillips on the mound and White behind the plate for South Carolina. And that's check swing back to the pitcher. Going to be fielded by Phillips. Fires over to first. So 4 up, 3 down for Georgia. They get a 2-out walk, but does no damage. And we head to the bottom of the third inning with South Carolina, the home team, coming to bat trailing 2-0.
It's the wrong inning.
Hey, everybody get on your feet. It's t-shirt toss time. Catch the t-shirt. Good luck. Oh, can you get an L? There. 2 L. Twice. Yeah, thanks.
I put that in my suggestions. Give somebody with a better arm than Stuart. I didn't do that.
He's not able to fire it up to the top row, which is the 7th row. All right, so we head to the bottom of the 3rd here. South Carolina coming to the plate. Braden Ridge will be leading things off. So far, South Carolina been retired in order, yet to have a base runner. Trevor Cragen has been able to keep him off balance. Again, Cragen with his 21st pitch there, so it appears that George is going to ride Cragen out here as long as he can go. It's his game today on the mound. And that ball's fouled back. Although a left-handed hitter, Cragen is a right-handed pitcher. And 1-1 the count to Braden Ridge. Curveball stays high. Cragen so far done a nice job of mixing speeds, showing 2 pitches. And Braden Ridge just gets a piece of that. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here, bottom of the 3rd.
You're doing a live broadcast too. No, I'm serious, look. Because that's the trend they usually do.
And pitch stays inside.
They're not showing it on there.
So full count on the leadoff hitter for South Carolina, Braden Ridge here to begin the 3rd inning. And that's fouled back. And swing and a miss. Foul ball. Ball hits the dirt. So our little confusion there. Good job by the first base umpire and home plate umpire to square it up together. And Braden Ridge stays alive on the 3-2 pitch, just getting a piece of that. So 3 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Braden Ridge for South Carolina to start the 3rd. Once again, that's fouled off.
So try that foul ball so you can touch the same for free. So want to drink or blow pop? What are you saying?
And also maybe at the end of the game.
Okay.
Again, we're in the bottom of the 3rd. South Carolina, the home team, trailing 2-0. And that ball's ripped into center field. Looks like it's over the head of the center fielder as he falls down. Ridge is going to be into second base with a stand-up double. So nice 9-pitch at bat by Braden Ridge. 9-pitch at bat. Fouled off 3 pitches before drilling that double to center field.
Now batting number 5, Luke Poole.
Georgia's center fielder Brian Peel had a beat on it momentarily. Ball froze him. As he started back, he fell. And that lands up against the fence for a double to lead things off here in the 2nd inning. And that'll bring Luke Poole to the plate for South Carolina. And Cragen delivers ball 1 high. And Poole fouls that off. So South Carolina with their first base runner of the game, first hit of the game. Braden Ridge as he doubles to lead off the bottom of the third. And he's in scoring position for Luke Poole with nobody out. Off-speed pitch is fouled off by Poole to even the count at 2-2. And Luke Poole takes called strike 3. So Poole down on strikes.
The next batter is number 22, Eli White.
And that's going to bring the catcher Eli White to the plate for Greenwood, South Carolina, out of Greenwood Abbott Little League, the South Carolina state champion. So White digs in. Again, Braden Ridge remains at second after the leadoff double. And White chases the curveball outside for strike 1. Leadoff hitter Logan Bruce waits on deck. Again, one down here in the bottom of the third. And swung through for strike 2. So Trevor Cragen quickly ahead 0-2 in the count. And the Georgia pitcher looks in for the sign. It's fisted to second base. Second baseman will field. Connor Bone and fire over to first. Cameron Dunbar makes the play. 4 out, number 2. On the pitch, on the play, Braden McCary advances over to third. So 2 down now. Braden McCary stands on third base as Poole grounds out to Connor Bone for Georgia at second base. And that'll bring Logan Bruce to the plate, the leadoff hitter for South Carolina. And Bruce takes down low for ball 1. And Logan Bruce started the game on the mound today. Had moved to shortstop after 20 pitches as he takes ball 2 low and away. Three, now the count to Logan Bruce.
I think Ashby's
He's with the Indians, Scott. He's with the Indians.
And ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs to leadoff hitter Logan Bruce. And that's going to create a mound visit from manager Robert Peel. That's going to bring Wells Gunter to the plate for South Carolina. And very likely what manager Robert Peel is discussing here is what first and third play they're going to try to execute. As we reset the situation, South Carolina trailing 2-0 early in the game, bottom of the third. Runners on first and third, though, 2 out. So you wonder if South Carolina may put the runner in first. Logan Bruce, one of their faster players, in motion to either try to get him to second and in scoring position as a tie and run, or try to draw a throw down that may allow the runner from third to break. Georgia, meanwhile, after meeting the home plate, probably discussing how they're going to handle that if it does happen.
Now batting number 8, Wells Gunter.
So Wells Gunter comes to the plate. Again, Gunter's had a really strong tournament. Came into this game today batting .500 on the tournament through 3 games. Again, as we mentioned earlier, got some tough news last night for any 11-year-old. learning of the passing of his grandmother back home. And Bruce takes off for second. Throw comes to second. Got him hung up in a rundown. He's in the rundown. Runner's going to break for home. Going to score the run at home, and Bruce is able to get back safely to first base. So nice execution by South Carolina as Ridge is able to score from third base. Again, Braden Ridge able to score from third base. I'm sorry, I think I said McCary. It was Braden Ridge at third after the double. And Ridge comes home to score. Logan Bruce able to get back to first safely. And South Carolina is now on the board with their first run of the game and trailing 2-1. So again, folks, first and third situation. The runner from first, Logan Bruce, broke for second. Purposely got caught in a rundown. The throw went down to second. He was able to stay in the rundown long enough for the runner from third, Braden Ridge, to break home. He scored safely, and Bruce slid back into first. So South Carolina on the board with their first run. And all of a sudden, after cruising through the first 2 innings on the mound, Trevor Cragen has run into a little bit of trouble here in the third. As a second straight batter, Wells Gunter draws a 4-pitch walk. So a 4-pitch walk to Bruce and a 4-pitch walk to Gunter will bring the number 3-hole hitter, Drew Phillips, to the plate. So Drew Phillips up, big situation here, 3-hole hitter. South Carolina trailing by 1, but 2 runners on. Good speed at both bases. And the 9th straight ball delivered by Trevor Cragen. Again, Cragen was cruising along here. And all of a sudden struggling just a little bit to find the strike zone. And that pitch is taken low. So 2-0 the count, 2 balls, no strikes to Drew Phillips, 2 outs, bottom of the third. And that pitch is popped up. Going to be a chance for the catcher to make a play. D'Amelio settles under it, and D'Amelio with the catch right on top of the plate. And Georgia escapes any further damage here in the bottom of the third. So, halfway through, after 3 complete, great ball game here as the visiting team Georgia leads 2-1.
Scott, don't play this every single game. We'll do it during the West Virginia. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that was obnoxious. Oh, yeah?
What's crazy? Hey, okay, also, on third base. I played third. Okay. And they were the home team, our visiting team. So I was right beside the dugout. They said they were talking about they saw the other team in the river and threw them in the river. They got stuck in my head. They said it's something.
That's when I saw it. I thought I saw him walking that way.
Yeah, he was. He had a broom. He stood by the trash can and watched the game while he's supposed to eat something.
Video camera coming in from right center.
Hey, what did Marvin do today for
Is that WITN?
WTC. Well, I said the trucks.
I've got umpire eyes.
We head to the top of the 4th. The visiting team Georgia coming to the plate. And John D'Amelio will be leading things off
Leading on top
for Georgia.
Number 15, John D'Amelio.
D'Amelio with a single and RBI his first time up to plate the first run of the game. And only RBI of the game so far. So D'Amelio stands in. Drew Phillips remains on the mound for Greenwood Abbeville Little League out of Greenwood, South Carolina, the South Carolina State champions. Again, the battery remains the same, White behind the plate. Phillips on the mound. And D'Amelio with the 0-1 pitch. And that hits him. Takes that right off the arm. D'Amelio hustles down. Tough kid.
22, Blake Tucker.
Looks like he's going to be fine. That caught him on the meaty part of the bicep, tricep area, upper arm. And looks like our good friend Antoine Rowland going to be making another special pinch runner appearance.
All right, guys, I got umpires. I got a question. Why do coaches always call time after a hit batter when they want to do something? Because they don't realize it's a dead ball.
So Rowland enters the game as a special pinch runner for D'Amelio.
Georgia, number 24, Antoine Rowling. For number 15, John D'Amelio. Now batting number 22, Blake Tucker.
Antoine Rowland has easily spent the most time on base of any player in this tournament. No question about that. Kid can really run, and they've done a good job of taking advantage of it, getting him the game at every opportunity as a special pinch runner. So rolling at first, and that'll bring Blake Tucker, the 5-hole hitter, to the plate. And that ball's hit up the middle. Nice play, steps on the bag and fires across for the double play. Beautiful play by Logan Bruce. Two-hopper hit right back up the middle. Bruce fielded it, stepped on second for one, and then fired over to first across his body for a double play. So nice athleticism shown there by Logan Bruce on the 6-3 double play. So 6-3 on the double play. And Antoine Rowling, after being tagged out at second, is now going to appear at the plate as the batter. Not something that you see every day.
Your attention, please. Now in the game and batting for Georgia, number 24, Antoine Rowling. For number 5, Connor Bone, and 6-5.
So Antoine Rowling coming in to hit in place of Connor Bone. Rowling was just on first, part of that double play. Comes off the field, grabs a bat, and steps into the batter's box. And fouls the first pitch off.
Please, during that foul ball, to concession stand for a free small drink of low pop.
That is a situation probably unique only to Little League, where you go into second and are tagged out and immediately grab a bat and head to the plate. So 2 outs here in the top of the 4th for Georgia, leading 2-1. Antoine Rowling at the plate, 1-1 count. And taken outside for a ball, 2-1. 3-1, excuse me. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs on the batter, Antoine Rowling. And that's taken inside. And for the second time this inning, Antoine Rowling will go down to first base.
Now batting number 33, Preston Price.
Be a trivia question for you to ask your baseball friends later in the day. How can Antoine Rowling, over a period of 2 batters, be at first base twice after having gotten out? So Rowling at first for the second time in the inning, first as a special pinch runner, and now after drawing a walk. Preston Price at the plate. So Price steps in. And that pitch hits Preston Price. He's drilled in the leg. So Drew Phillips struggling a little bit with his command here in the fourth inning, top of the fourth, after retiring 2. Antoine Rowling will advance to second.
Actually, that one's not bad. When they do a lot better taking it from out there than they do if they get down and do it like they like to do. And then this is first.
So mound visit here from South Carolina manager Jeff Phillips. Talking with his defense, talking with his pitcher. And it looks like Phillips is going to remain on the mound.
Now batting number 2, Brian Peel.
So that'll bring Brian Peel to the plate, the center fielder for Georgia, with 2 outs here in the fourth inning and 2 runners on. And Phillips delivers a strike. And the curveball swung on and missed. We thought this would be a pretty close ball game today, folks, and a pretty competitive battle, and so far it looks exactly that. These teams look very evenly matched so far, as the 2-1 score indicates. No balls, 2 strikes on the batter, Brian Peel. And Phillips wastes 1 outside. Phillips at 42 pitches right now. Again, 2 down here in the top of the fourth. 6-inning ball game. And the pitch taken for a called strike 3. So Peel looks at strike 3 on the outside corner. Georgia strands 2 runners here after the 2-out walk and the hit by pitch. And we head to the bottom of the fourth inning with Georgia still leading 2-1.
Need to go get a plane up.
All right, we head to the bottom of the fourth inning here.
Number 25, Andrew Gossett.
Leading off for South Carolina will be the cleanup hitter Andrew Gossett. Again, Gossett, with a hot offensive tournament so far, came into today's game having batted .500. 3 hitters in this game at .500 or better after 3 games coming in here. Trevor Cragen, Wells Gunter, and Andrew Gossett after 3 games coming into today's game. And Gossett takes strike 1 from Trevor Cragen. Cragen remains on the hill for Georgia. He's gone the distance so far. That ball's grounded on 1 hop to the third baseman. Fires across. Cameron Dunbar receives the throw, and we've got 1 down here on 2 pitches in the bottom of the fourth.
Oh, I can't do this. That's 1
So one down here. And that'll bring the big guy Lennox Adams to the plate.
Oh. Is that what it was about? Sorry.
And Adams takes a curveball for strike one. Trevor Cragen gone the distance for Georgia so far. He's at 51 pitches with one out here in the fourth. Again, 85 pitches is the limit. At this point, it looks like Georgia's going to ride him as far as they can. He's done a great job so far as he's quickly ahead 0-2. So Lennox Adams in an 0-2 hole. And swung on. That ball's hit up the middle. Nice play by the second baseman from Georgia. Throws from his knees and records the out. Great play there by Preston Price. Preston had moved in from right field to second base this inning as Connor Bone was replaced in favor of Antoine Rowling. We'll reset the Georgia defense for you in just a minute. Nice play. Ball hit up the middle. Preston Price went to his right and fielded it backhand. Threw from his knees over to Cameron Dunbar for the second out of the inning. Resetting the Georgia defense. Brian Peel looks like he's moved over to right field. Antoine Rowling is in center.
Your attention, please.
Blake Tucker in left.
Batting for South Carolina, number 6, Zeke Walston for number 15, Braden McCarrion, 6'5".
Grant Fuller at third. Joshua Milton remains at short. Again, we just mentioned that Preston Price had moved over to second and Cameron Dunbar at first. D'Amelio remains the catcher. And batting now for South Carolina is number 6, Zeke Walston. So Walston making his first appearance of the game. And Walston takes high for ball one.
They only hit one, so well, that's it, right? And he just has to play 2 innings.
Walston fouls that off late. So Walston ahead in the count, 2-1. Two 2-1 pitch is taken just high for ball 3. Strike 2. Walston has started down to first, thinking that was outside. The umpire saw differently, and the count is full. So Zeke Walston will dig back in with a 3-ball, 2-strike count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Again, Georgia leading 2-1. And the pitch is swung on and missed by Walston for strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for Trevor Cragen and the Georgia State champions here in the 4th inning. And South Carolina, again, after 4 complete innings,
Your attention, please.
trailing 2-1. We head to the 5th.
East Carolina
Georgia 2,
University
South Carolina 1.
Athletic facilities beginning at 3 p.m. today. The tours include an inside look of ECU's 50,000-seat Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. It also includes a walkthrough of the 8,000-seat Williams Arena at Minges Coliseum and the 5,000-seat Clark LeClaire Stadium. East Carolina University Department staff will conduct the tours, which are free of charge to the Tournament of State Champions players, families, coaching staffs, and umpires. Expect the tours to take about an hour. See Ann Weingart to the concession stand to receive a printed copy of directions to the tour's starting point. It's an awesome tour, so you better do it. Thank you. I'm trying to get people to do it, Mr. Brown. We don't threaten them.
13 for 44.
So as we head to the top of the 5th inning for Georgia, Avery Boyd will step in to lead things off for Georgia in the game for Cameron Dunbar. So again, Boyd enters the game now offensively for the Georgia State champions out of Evans, Georgia. Phillips remains on the mound for South Carolina. That ball is smoked into right field. That's going to be down for a base hit. So Boyd quickly steps in and leads things off with a second pitch single from the 9-hole here for Georgia in the top of the 5th inning. Why would you not leave him in? I don't understand.
Yes, sir.
Didn't like it.
5 special runs.
Your attention, please. Now in the game is a special pinch runner for Georgia, number 5, Connor Bone, for number 13, Avery Boyd.
So Avery Boyd singles to lead the inning off, and Connor Bone is going to come in as a special pinch runner for Avery Boyd. So good job by Avery Boyd on the second pitch he sees of delivering a single into right field, sharp single over the second baseman's head. Connor Bone in, and that's going to bring the leadoff hitter Joshua Melton to the plate for Georgia. And Melton quickly chops one foul. Again, we're in semifinal game 1 here today on semifinal Tuesday of the Tournament of State Champions. And the curveball swung on and missed by Melton. Again, Georgia as the visiting team. Connor Bone on first after replacing Avery Boyd, who had a leadoff single. Joshua Melton at the plate in an 0-2 hole. Nobody out. And the 1-2 pitch. Quickly evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Melton. Ground ball to the second baseman, could be 2. Tags the runner there, throws over to first for the double play. So second double play of the game for South Carolina. Very nice play there by the second baseman, Wells Gunter. Gunter tagged the runner, going into second on the shoulder. Then quickly fired over the first. So we've got a 6-3 double play and a 5-3 double play for South Carolina so far in this game. So now 2 down, bases empty, and the dangerous Trevor Cragen steps into the plate, at the plate. Again, 2 down, nobody on after the 5-3 double play from Wells Gunter. Four three double play. I'm corrected in the box, and that's grounded to the pitcher, and he throws out at first. My mistake, that was a 4-3 double play. Second baseman fielded that, threw over to first, and quickly Georgia's retired in the inning. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Georgia, the visiting team, leading 2-1. South Carolina coming to the plate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, we need something.
Well, if he loses, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Caleb?
Scotty's my production assistant.
So, Ken,
He's helping me.
good.
Yes, we've been doing the games on the internet so the people back in Georgia, South Carolina are listening. How many people we got listening right now? Oh, decent crowd this morning. So you can tell your dad I've been doing the play-by-play on here. So welcome back as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Again, South Carolina trailing 5-1 here in semifinal number 1 on semifinal Tuesday.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth for South Carolina, number 20, Braden Ridge.
Braden Ridge will be leading things off for South Carolina. Doubled in his last at bat to get things started for South Carolina. So again, Braden Ridge stands in. South Carolina trailing by 1 and takes a curveball that stays just inside.
Georgia, number 16, Drew Proctor, number 33, Preston Price, and 7th spot.
Trevor Cragen remains on the mound for Georgia. The Martinez Evans Little Leaguer has thrown 60 pitches so far through 4 innings. So doing a nice job with his pitch count as that ball's outside. 2-0 the count on Braden Ridge. Again, leading off the fifth, South Carolina trailing by 1. And Ridge flies down the right field line. That's going to get foul. Again, Braden Ridge with a double earlier in the game to get things started for South Carolina. Only extra base hit of the game so far today. South Carolina has turned 2 double plays today. 6-3 on a 6-3 double play and a 4-3 double play last inning. Don't always see that in a game at this age. And Georgia calling timeout as manager Robert Peel is going to come and talk with the home plate umpire about something. Beautiful day here in Greenville, North Carolina. Slight cloud cover. Again, temperatures expected to be around 88 degrees today. Slight breeze blowing. Kind of neutral right now. And that's taken for ball 4. So South Carolina trailing by 1 here in the bottom of the fifth gets the leadoff runner on in the person of Braden Ridge. And as the Luke calls go up from the South Carolina crowd, Luke Poole comes to the plate. Let's go ahead and pop this open for the last inning and a half. Might get some crowd noise going here. So Luke Poole stands in, runner on first, nobody out. South Carolina trailing 2-1. 1 runner on, that's grounded to the second baseman. Could be 2. Tosses to 1. Melton fires over to first, not in time. Ball not quite hit sharply enough. Preston Price fielded it, tossed over to Joshua Melton at shortstop, who stepped on the bag and fired to first, but not in time to get Luke Poole.
Now batting number 22, Eli White.
And that'll bring the catcher Eli White to the plate. White hitting in the 9 spot. Stands in now with Luke Poole at first. And swings and misses at the off-speed pitch for strike 1. D'Amelio remains behind the plate for Georgia. Cragen remains on the mound. Cragen now at 66 pitches. Again, the limit is 85. It looks as if that Georgia's going to ride Cragen as long as they can. He's done a great job this game, giving up but just the 1 run so far. Wind now picking up just a little bit from left to right. As we begin to get late in this game, and you can see many of the parents beginning to show the effects of a close ball game. Been a great atmosphere here through this first 4 days of this tournament. Everyone been extremely supportive of the kids, having a lot of fun. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the curveball is fouled off the foot of Eli White. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to White. And the pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. And the runner looks like he's going to take off. Now dives back in. Oh, he's out. Heads up play by the catcher, John D'Amelio for Georgia. Luke Poole got a little bit cute over there at first base and was not able to get back to the bag in time for the 3rd out of the game. So we head to the 6th. Georgia still leading 2-1. Yeah, but he didn't slide back either. Never go back in standing up.
I wrote it down, and I repeat, I always say, for who it is.
What's going on there? Welcome back, folks, as we head here to the 6th inning. Brief delay right now as we're getting some clarification on substitutions, making sure that everyone's synced up here. So I'm going to take a brief break here and shut the microphone down as the discussion's going on between the coaching staffs, the umpires, and the staff here, and be back with you as soon as this is cleared up in just a moment as we head to the 6th inning with Georgia leading 2-1. Again, folks, sorry for the delay here. We're having a discussion right now on the field between the tournament director, the two coaching staffs, and the umpires. We'll give you more information as we have it. Again, we're heading to the top of the 6th inning. Georgia leading 2-1 and coming to the bat. And again, as soon as we have some information to share with you, we will. I think this is regarding substitutions, and right now they're trying to work it out on the field and make sure that everybody's on the same page. So, again, I'm going to shut the microphone off to avoid you picking up any background noise until we have this situation in a position where I can relay accurate information to you as the coaching staff, the tournament director, and the umpires discuss exactly what the situation is. And, again, we'll be back to playing ball here shortly. All right, and we're back ready to resume play here after a lengthy delay. Here in the 6th inning.
For Georgia, number 11, Grant Fuller.
All right, so we head to the 6th. Georgia holding a slim 2-1 lead. No information to share with you here, folks. We'll just focus on what's at hand, which is Grant Fuller at the plate. So Fuller at the plate. And takes a called strike one. Again, Phillips remains on the mound for South Carolina. Eli White remains at catcher. So Fuller, the 3-hole hitter for Georgia, singled earlier in the game. Again, with Georgia holding a slim 2-1 lead. And sharp ground ball to shortstop off the glove of Logan Bruce and into center field. So Grant Fuller with a sharp ball up the middle off the glove of the shortstop, Logan Bruce. And that's going to bring John D'Amelio to the plate. And going to bring Connor Bone in as a special pinch runner for number 11, Grant Fuller.
What was that rule?
Yes. No special runner for 11.
I have a question. What did they vote on? What did they vote on?
Five special runners.
Your attention, please. Now in the game is a special pinch runner for Georgia. Number 5, Connor Bone. Number 11, Grant Fuller.
So Connor Bone in the special pinch run here. He'll be on first with nobody out here top of the 6th. Georgia leading 2-1. And the cleanup hitter, John D'Amelio at the plate. D'Amelio on the day, single and a hit by pitch. And swung on, grounded back to the pitcher. He's going to go to second for one. Logan Bruce fires over to first, and the throw gets away. Nice slide into second by Connor Bone. Might have prevented the double play from being turned there. South Carolina already turned 2 double plays on the day in the infield.
Blake Tucker.
So 2 hopper back to Phillips. Phillips turned, fired to first base.
Blake Tucker is up. Get that name off now.
And that'll bring Blake Tucker to the plate, the left fielder for Georgia. So 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning for Georgia. John D'Amelio down at first. Blake Tucker at the plate. And swung on and missed by Tucker. Snap throw down to first, not in time, as D'Amelio dives back into the bag. And that's fouled straight back. Oh, and 2 the count to Blake Tucker. And the 0-2 pitch taken inside for ball 1. Phillips now sitting at 59 pitches, so well under the 85 limit. Again, he came in after to start the 2nd inning and has gone the rest of the way for South Carolina. Both pitchers doing, and swing and a miss by Tucker for strike 3. So 2 down now. 2 down in the inning. And that's going to bring Antoine Rolling to the plate. Oh, smart move here. He's going to change pitchers to try to get the strikeout here. I just heard him saying he's going to switch pitchers. Probably going to put his best arm in whoever that is, maybe, to try to get the strikeout. Visit to the mound here by South Carolina manager Jeff Phillips to discuss a little defensive strategy with his team here. Antoine Rolling will be stepping in the batter's box. Again, to reset the situation here, Antoine Rolling at the plate. Runner on first for Georgia, 2 down. Georgia leading 2-1 in the game. So Rolling steps in here. And Phillips delivers curveball. That ripped down the right field line, but foul. Well, Phillips left that up in the zone, and Rolling turned on it, but just a little bit too early as he ripped that down the right field line. So 0-1 the count to Antoine Rolling. And that's taken outside for a ball. Just outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillips wanted that pitch. Again, the speedy Antoine Rolling. 1-1 the count. That's ripped into left center field. Going to be at least 2. Runner heading for 2nd and 3rd. Throw comes into the shortstop. And that's going to bring Drew Proctor to the plate for Georgia. So Drew Proctor coming to the plate for Georgia after the left center field gap double. That ball was really smoked off the bat of Antoine Rolling. Rolling appears to be a terrific athlete. So Rolling at second. Georgia manager discussing something with the third base umpire right now, getting a clarification as Proctor steps into the box. This will be Proctor's first plate appearance of the day with 2 out here in the top of the 6th. And now going to be a meeting with the umpires. Not sure what this is about. John D'Amelio at third, Antoine Rowling at second, and now manager Robert Peel is calling for some further support. So again, we're going to kill the mic for a moment here, folks. Take a brief timeout as we reset the situation for you prior to going to the timeout. 2 outs. Georgia runners on second and third. And Drew Proctor coming to the plate for his first plate appearance of the game, here with 2 out in the top of the 6th. And I'm going to shut the mic down for just a moment and take a breather, as we'll be back in just a minute here in the 6th inning of semifinal game 1. Okay, folks, and we're back to action here. We'll give you an explanation on things, folks, once this at-bat is completed by Proctor. Don't want to say anything before that, as Proctor stands in and takes ball 1. So Drew Proctor stands in. Georgia with runners on second and third. 2 outs here in the 6th. And Phillips on the mound delivers the 0-1 pitch to Proctor, taken for a strike. Two and 1 the count now to Proctor. And 2-1 pitch, that's fouled off early, down the third base line. So Proctor, even in the count at 2-2 at the plate. Again, Phillips remains on the mound for South Carolina, gone the distance since coming in the second, after Logan Bruce started the game on the mound for South Carolina. And Eli White remains behind the plate. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild here. Georgia holding the 2-1 lead, and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, fly ball to right field. Lennox Adams gets underneath of it and makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So, with that catch, Georgia's retired in the top of the 6th. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. South Carolina trailing 2-1, coming to bat here with the top of the order, needing 1 run to tie and 2 to win in the bottom of the 6th. Be back in a moment. So, welcome back, folks. High drama here at Elm Street Park in Greenville, North Carolina. I'll try to give you as brief an explanation as I can for what occurred last inning. There was a player that had not gotten into the game yet for Georgia, and Proctor was at the plate, actually, and just trying to get a little bit of clarification were the coaches on exactly what needed to happen in order to get all their players in the game. Fortunately, Proctor was able to complete his at-bat, making every player legal for Georgia in terms of playing time. Georgia needed to get to the 5th hitter of the inning in order to get Proctor in at bat that inning, and they were just able to do that as Proctor was at the plate. Then with Proctor at the plate, I think the Georgia manager most likely was asking for clarification on what happened if the at-bat was not completed. In other words, if the runner on third broke for home and was tagged out at home with the at-bat count. So bottom line is everything's good. Everyone's gotten in the game. And we're heading to the bottom of the 6th inning with a 1-run game. And can't ask for much more than this, folks. The kids have put on a great show. 2 very well-pitched games here by Trevor Cragen for Georgia and for Phillips. Drew Phillips for South Carolina. And doesn't get much better than this. Georgia holding a 2-1 lead. Winner stays alive. Loser ends their season, their all-star run. Winner advances to the Southeast Regional Championship game tomorrow, the Tournament of State Champions Championship game. And South Carolina will have 1, 2, 3 coming up here as Trevor Cragen sits at 70 pitches to start the inning. So Logan Bruce leading things off for South Carolina as we start the bottom of the 6th inning. And Bruce takes high, ball 1. Again, Trevor Cragen gone the distance for Georgia. Now at 71 pitches, thrown a terrific game. Young man has. And Bruce takes strike 1. Looked like Bruce was taking all the way there. So quickly the count is even at 1-1 to the leadoff hitter for the Greenwood, South Carolina Little Leaguer. Curveball swung on, fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and just stay alive. Does Logan Bruce. That curveball hung up just a little bit. Bruce hacked at it. Got just a piece off the end cap. Again, nobody on, nobody out here. Bottom of the 6th. And the 1-2 pitch fouled straight back on the fastball by Bruce. And once again, the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Again, just fouled off. D'Amelio throws the mask off but can't quite track it down. Again, high drama here, folks, as Georgia holding a slim 2-1 lead, and the 1-2 pitch taken for cause strike 3 on the outside corner by Bruce. So big pitch there from Trevor Cragen, and Bruce goes down looking for out number 1 in the inning.
Now batting number 8, Wells Gunter.
So Wells Gunter now steps into the box with nobody on. 1 down here in the 6th inning. And takes a curveball for strike 1. Cragen done a great job today of locating that curveball. And curveball again swung on and missed by Gunter. So Wells Gunter quickly in an 0-2 hole. Cragen at 79 pitches. Again, you only have to start the batter before the 85th pitch in order to be able to finish it. So if he can retire Gunter here, and that's taken inside on the 80th pitch for ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Wells Gunter, the number 2 hitter for South Carolina. And that ball is hit to the third baseman, going to get underneath his glove. And Gunter's going to be safe at first base. That ball was hit right down the line. Third baseman reached across his body. Tucker not quite able to make the play. And all of a sudden, folks, we've got the tying run on And the winning run coming to the plate in the person of Drew Phillips. And again, the Georgia manager calling timeout to come and talk to the home plate umpire. And he's going to call up here to the press box. So again, Drew Phillips will be at the plate after Wells Gunter is on.
Yes, sir.
How did we score that? Last play was scored as an E5 for those of you keeping score at home.
24 came in the top of the fourth. Top of the fourth to the bottom of the fourth, bottom of the fifth. Yes. Correct.
Sorry for the brief delay here as the Georgia manager is getting some clarification on something with the press box.
All right. Re-enter 5 for 24.
And looks like we're going to have a defensive substitution taking place for Georgia.
Your attention, please. Now we're in the game for Georgia, number 5, Connor Bowman for number 24, Antoine Rolling in the 6th spot.
All right, so we'll give you the defensive changes as Georgia's making them here in the middle of the inning. Antoine Rolling is coming out of the game, coming out of center field. The new center fielder will be Blake Tucker, who just left third base. So Tucker goes to center field. Connor Bone re-enters the game and comes in defensively at second base. And Grant Fuller is your new third baseman. Again, Drew Phillips at the plate. And the pitch to Phillips, that's ripped just foul. I mean, not more than a foot, folks, into the left field corner. We were that close to this game possibly being tied. Wells Gunter runs very well at first base. He was off on the hit and just missed being fair down the left field line by Drew Phillips. So again, Bone in at second base. Grant Fuller in at third. Blake Tucker in center field. Antoine Rolling out of the game. And the 0-1 pitch. And Phillips fouls that off late. So Phillips quickly in an 0-2 hole. Trevor Cragen quickly ahead 0-2 on the mound. That's the 83rd pitch for Trevor Cragen. Again, the tying run at first. Bottom of the sixth here in the person of Wells Gunter. And the 0-2 pitch taken high. Sort of a waste pitch out of the zone. So that ensures this will be the last batter that Trevor Cragen faces as he's at 84 pitches. So there will be a new Georgia pitcher unless a double play is turned here. Phillips digs in, and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, that ball's belted to center field, but the center fielder camps out under it and makes the catch. 2 down. So Phillips gave it a ride, about 180 feet, but the center fielder didn't have to move an inch to make the catch. Blake Tucker makes the catch, and with that, Trevor Cragen hits 85 pitches, and after 5 2/3 of a masterpiece, he's going to be coming out of the game, and a new Georgia pitcher. We'll be back in a moment to tell you who it is. We take a brief timeout with Georgia leading 2-1 with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. So the new pitcher for Georgia is going to be number 11, Grant Fuller. Fuller comes in with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, needing just to record 1 out for Georgia to advance to the championship game tomorrow morning. Trevor Cragen, after throwing an absolute masterpiece, moves to center field. Again, kudos to both of these pitchers today and both of these pitching staffs. Trevor Cragen Trevor Cragen, excuse me, folks, Trevor Cragen going 5 2/3 for Georgia. And Drew Phillips going 5 innings for South Carolina. 5 shutout innings for South Carolina. And here we go, folks, as Andrew Gossett steps in and takes ball 1. So Gossett at the plate, 2 down. The tying runs at first in the person of Wells Gunter. Gunter runs well. And the 1-0 pitch. Taken outside for ball 2. Lennox Adams remains on deck. Adams with a home run earlier in the tournament.
He's 4 for 8.
And Gossett swings and fouls it off. Who is? Again, Gossett was 4 for 8 coming into today's game, batting .500, one of the leading hitters in the tournament. And 2-1 the count to Gossett. And Fuller rocks and fires. And Gossett swings through and misses, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a 2-1 Georgia lead. Georgia 1 strike away from advancing to the championship game tomorrow. And Gossett digs in. And swing and miss. Strike 3. Gossett down on strikes. And Georgia advances to the championship game tomorrow with a hard-fought, fantastic 2-1 victory over the South Carolina State champions from Greenwood, South Carolina. Outstanding ball game, folks.
South Carolina won.
Should be proud of both of these teams. Again, a 2-1 game here at the 11-year-old age level for Little League. Well pitched, well played.
Game featuring West Virginia and Florida.
I'm sure a disappointing loss for South Carolina, but the kids are holding their heads high. I think they realize as well this was a very entertaining ball game to watch today. And both of these are 2 good baseball teams. So again, Georgia advances to the championship game at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Scheduled start time of 11 a.m. versus the winner of West Virginia and Florida, who will play next. Start time about 45 minutes from now as the coaches meet at home plate to congratulate each other.
The ECU one?
So again, congratulations to Georgia on advancing to the championship game. Congratulations to South Carolina for playing a fantastic tournament and losing a hard-fought 2-1 game here in the semifinals. We thank you for listening. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast.
Attention, please. East Carolina University will be offering tours of its athletic facility.
And we'll be back on the air in about 45 minutes.